Rain was pounding against my old Victorian house in suburban Chicago, like the good Lord was drumming out his frustration. I was 72, standing in my kitchen, clutching a faded photo of my late husband, Robert. His smile warming my heart despite the years he'd been gone. I'd weathered plenty of storms, losing him to cancer, raising our boy John through the lean years of the recession, but nothing hit me like the thunderclap of that night. The front door slammed open, and in stormed Sarah, my daughter-in-law, her red hair wild, reeking of cheap wine from a night out in Wrigleyville. "You old hag, did you touch my things again?" she hollered, her words cutting me deep. My hands shook, but I stayed quiet. Little did I know, that night was the start of a journey that'd teach me and her about love, forgiveness, and what family really means. I was born in 1953, right here in Chicago's South Side, to Irish folks who came over with nothing but dreams. My pa worked the steel mills, my ma stitched dresses, and they taught me to hold fast to faith and family. I met Robert at a church dance, his kind eyes drawing me in like a moth to a flame. We married young, had John in 78, and built a life of simple joys. Picnics at Lincoln Park Zoo, Cubs games, Thanksgiving with all the fixins. When Robert passed in 2015, it broke me. John, bless his heart, wouldn't let me stay alone in our big house. "Move in with me, Mom," he said. So I sold up and joined him in the suburbs, thinking it'd be a new chapter. Then came Sarah. Oh, she was a firecracker at first. Red hair, quick wit, a marketing whiz from Wisconsin. When John met her at a company picnic, I was over the moon. Their wedding at Millennium Park was like something out of a dream. I helped pick her dress, arranging flowers with joy in my heart. But after the honeymoon, things soured. Sarah's job was a pressure cooker, and their struggles to have a baby weighed heavy. I became her punching bag. Mornings, she'd snap, "Can't you make coffee without making a mess, Evelyn?" "You're useless." Afternoons, she'd accuse me of snooping if I dusted her shelves. "Stay out of my business." Evenings were worst. She'd come home tired and mean, tearing into my cooking. "This is bland as cardboard." No wonder Robert didn't stick around. I'd bite my lip, thinking of John's happiness. I loved that boy more than life, and I told myself Sarah made him happy, even if she made my days a living hell. One spring day, I baked her favorite apple pie, hoping to mend things. The kitchen smelled of cinnamon, taking me back to my ma's bacon when times were tough. I hummed an old Elvis tune, feeling hopeful, but when Sarah got home, her eyes narrowed. "What's this? Trying to poison me with your old recipes?" She grabbed that pie and chucked it in the trash, dish shattering and all. My heart broke with it. I mumbled, "I'm sorry, dear," but she just sneered, "You're a burden, Evelyn. John and I'd be better off without you." I retreated to my room, a little den with faded wallpaper, and cried into my pillow, clutching my rosary beads, Robert's gift from our 25th anniversary. "Why does she hate me, Lord?" I whispered. John saw the tension but brushed it off. "Mom, Sarah's stressed. Work's brutal. Give her time." I nodded, smiling to keep peace, but it hurt. I tried small kindnesses, ironing Sarah's blouses, packing her lunches, walking their dog, Max, but every gesture got a barb. "Stop playing martyr," she'd say. "Nobody asked for your help." At the food bank where I volunteered, my friend Mabel saw the toll it took. "Ev, you look worn to the bone. That girl still giving you grief?" I sighed. "Just words, Mabel. Sticks and stones." But she shook her head. "Words break more than bones, honey." That night, I wrote in my journal, "Today was hard, but for John, I'll endure. Love is patient, love is kind." Come summer, Sarah started looking poorly. Tired, puffy, always rubbing her temples. I'd been a nurse's aide in my younger days, so I knew something was wrong. "Sarah, honey, see a doctor?" "Could be your kidneys." She rolled her eyes. "I don't need your quack advice." But one hot July day, She collapsed in the kitchen, clutching her side. John rushed her to Northwestern Memorial, and I followed in my old Buick, praying all the way. The doctor's words hit like a freight train. Chronic kidney disease, stage 4. Sarah's kidneys were failing, worn out by high blood pressure she hadn't known about. In that hospital room, with machines beeping, Sarah sobbed into John's chest. I don't want to die, John. I'm only 32. My heart ached for her, seeing the scared girl beneath her tough shell. I stood quiet in the corner, praying for strength. Back home, Sarah started dialysis 3 times a week. She was cranky, snapping at everyone. But I took it in stride. I drove her to the clinic in the Loop, sitting in the waiting room with my knitting or a thermos of tea. One day, I brought her a blanket I'd made. To keep you warm during treatment, I said. She grunted a thanks, but her eyes softened, like she was seeing me different. One night, after a rough session, Sarah slumped on the couch, pale as a ghost. I tucked a blanket around her, brought her chamomile tea. Rest, dear, I said. She looked up, voice weak. Why are you nice to me, after all I've said? I sat beside her, patting her knee. Your family, Sarah. Family sticks together. Tears rolled down her face. I'm sorry, Evelyn. I was jealous of you and John, so close. And the infertility. I felt like a failure. I pulled her into a hug. Her first real one to me. We're all flawed, child, but we can fix this. As fall painted the trees red and gold, Sarah got worse. Dialysis wasn't enough. She needed a transplant. The waiting list was years long. John tested first, not a match. Friends, cousins, no luck. I spoke up at dinner one night, casserole steaming on the table. Test me. John shook his head. Mom, you're 72. It's risky, Sarah agreed. You've done enough. But I was stubborn as a mule. I've lived a full life. If I can give you more time, Sarah, it's worth it. The tests showed I was a perfect match. My kidneys strong despite my age. Doctors warned me surgery could be rough, recovery tougher. I waved them off. God's got a plan, I said. Preparing for it, Sarah and I talked more. Late nights, when pain kept her up, I'd sit with her, sharing stories, my childhood, dancing to Elvis, Robert proposing under the stars at Navy Pier. She opened up too. My folks split when I was 10. Mom drank. I had to be tough, I nodded, understanding her sharp edges better. The surgery was set for a crisp November morning. The night before, we gathered by the fireplace, John telling tales of his childhood, how I worked 2 jobs to get him through college. Sarah listened, eyes wide. I never knew. I chuckled. Life's full of surprises. At midnight, Sarah turned to me. Thank you, Evelyn. For everything, I hugged her tight. Promise me you'll live fully. That's all I ask. In the hospital, as they wheeled us to surgery, I held Sarah's hand. Be strong, my girl. She cried, whispering, I love you, Mom. First time she called me that, my heart swelled. The surgery went well, thank God. Recovery was hard. My side ached something fierce, but I managed. Sarah, with my kidney, bounced back faster. She'd visit, reading me To Kill a Mockingbird, my favorite. We'd laugh over hospital jello, trading stories. One day, she wheeled me to the hospital garden, leaves swirling. You've given me a second chance, she said. I'll make you proud. I squeezed her hand. You already have. Home by Christmas, the house changed. Sarah took over chores, letting me rest. She cooked, simple, but with love. We baked together, flour dusting the counters, laughing like old friends. John watched, amazed. Mom, you're a miracle worker. I winked. Just a granny with a big heart. New Year's Eve was special. Fireworks lit up the Chicago skyline, and Sarah gave me a scrapbook. Photos, hospital selfies, notes of thanks. This is our story, she said, voice thick. From pain to love. I flipped through, tears falling. It's beautiful, Sarah. like you, then a miracle. Sarah got pregnant. After years of trying, little Evelyn Rose came on a snowy February day. Holding my granddaughter, I whispered, "Welcome, little one." Sarah beamed. Named for the strongest woman I know. Years passed. Sarah thrived, speaking at kidney disease events, me by her side. She'd say, "This woman saved my life." On my 80th birthday, in our backyard with loved ones, Sarah raised a glass. "To Granny, who taught me love's true meaning." I smiled, lifted mine. "To family, forged in fire, bound by heart." That's my story. Ended a